Are we witnessing the Father tell Moses and Aaron to actually design a molten image of pure metal of gold in the shape of a tree flowering and blossoming and put it inside of his sanctuary? I thought that was pagan. I thought that was idolatry 100%, no questions asked. Exodus 25:31-34 says, "Then you are to make a lampstand of pure hammered gold. It shall be made of one piece, including its base and shaft, its cups, and its buds and petals." Buds and petals? I thought this was a metal lamp. No, it was shaped like a branch. It's shaped like a tree branch with flowering buds and petals. 6 branches are to extend from the side of the lampstand, 3 on one side, 3 on the other. There are to be 3 cup shapes like almond blossoms. Oh, didn't we read about almond trees in the Garden of Righteousness that were specifically pointed out? Well, that's interesting. And the actual buds and petals are of almond blossoms. On the first branch, each with buds and petals, 3 on the next branch, the same for all 6 branches that extend from the lampstand. On the lampstand, there shall be 4 cups shaped like almond blossoms with buds and petals. Oh my goodness. Are we witnessing the Father tell Moses and Aaron to actually design a molten image of pure metal of gold in the shape of a tree flowering and blossoming and put it inside of his sanctuary? I thought that was pagan. I thought that was idolatry 100%, no questions asked. It's not idolatry. It's the Father's creation. It's the Father's design. The enemy mocks and copies and perverts. Jubilees chapter 21, 10-12. On all your oblations you shall strew salt. Let not the salt of the covenant be lacking in all of your oblations before Yahweh. As regarding the wood of the sacrifices, beware lest you bring other wood for the altar in addition to these: cypress, bay, almond, fir, pine, cedar, savin, fig, olive, myrrh, laurel, and aspergillus. Of these kinds of wood lay upon the altar under the sacrifice, such as has been tested as to their appearance. Do not lay thereupon any split or dark wood, but hard and clean without fault, a sound and new growth. Do not lay thereupon old wood, for there is no longer fragrance in it as before. Besides these kinds of wood, there is none other that you shall place on the altar, for the fragrance is dispersed with the old wood, and the smell of its fragrance goes not up to heaven. Not just with the old wood, but also with wood other than these. So, by the way, in case anyone has already picked up on it, cypress, bay, almond, fir, pine, cedar, savin, fig, olive, myrrh, laurel, and aspergillus wood from different types of trees. Many of them are evergreen trees. For the people out there that think evergreen trees are somehow evil because pagans use them. Oh, and by the way, these are not only a part of God's house and how it was built and the foundations and the walls and the pillars, but now it's literally a part of his sacrifices. Yahweh decides he wants his altar to have logs of wood that are burning. Are we going to accuse Yahweh of adopting the Yule log, setting a log on fire in your fireplace in some honor to a false god worship? Just well, he's lighting logs on fire. They're burning for a long time. No, of course not. This is superstition that we have to get away from. Our intent and what we're doing according to worshiping Yahweh or worshiping false gods matters. Our intent matters. If a person decides during the month of January to bring logs into their house with other decorations and light up their fireplace, many people don't anymore because they have electric heaters in their homes. They're not accidentally worshiping Yule, which was just a name for a season, by the way. But they're not accidentally just worshiping the Yule log because they brought a fire in and put it just during this season because it's cold outside. This is why we would be judging on appearances falsely, like Christ tells us not to do, and we would be accusing people falsely of idolatry. So we don't want to do that. Just as we would dare never to think, oh my goodness, Yahweh's bringing in a image, which by definition is the word idol, but we don't want to call it idol because it's not an idol to a false god. But God, Yahweh in his house brings in the image of a tree with branches, budding and budding blossoms of flowers like almond petals from an almond branch with lights on top. He's not worshiping Inanna. He's not worshiping Hathor. He's not worshiping the Queen of Heaven. He's not worshiping Asherah. He brought in a shaped molten image and put it in his house in his sanctuary and lit it up as an important decorative piece so the priests can see and do their duties. And by the way, the wood of his sacrifice, he brings in the incense, the resin, the fragrances for his altar of incense that goes into his house is from evergreen trees. We must learn the ways of our Father. It'll help us discern between good and evil. It'll help us with sound judgment. It'll strengthen our reasoning capacities.